Arise, O giants of Tesco, your knowledge found springs forth. Our minds and hearts.
I entered GSTS in, I think, September 1966. This school, GSTS, was introduced to us. My bigger brother, or my brother I come after, myself, and a brother who comes after me. So the first one is Kwabena. The bigger brother taught here. He's R.S. Kwarkwa, Reynolds Safo Kwarkwa. He's an Agyemang, but he came to teach at GSTS because the government had a program similar to the national service of today. When you finish the university, you have to teach for 5 years before you can go elsewhere. And my brother came to teach here. That was when he knew about this school and he introduced the school to us. So in my family and from our time, when you set the common entrance, it should be GSTS and nothing else. That's how I came to the school. I was in House 6, Dodu House, House 6. And I offered science, woodwork, and the technical subjects. Those days, you come to GSTS and you have about 8 compulsory subjects. I did physics, chemistry, maths, elementary maths, additional maths, technical, geometric and technical drawing, woodwork. Yeah, for my Form 5 O-level exams, yeah. I was a cadet sergeant, and I think my discipline was mainly from Cadet Corps. My headmaster then was a Duampuma. Well, we met a Duampuma in Form 1. Then there was crisis after Form 1, I think. So he was removed from here. I think he was removed in 67. That is basically what happened. It was our time. It was declining then when the Duampuma left. Everything started going down. When we entered, GSTS was the best school in the whole of Ghana in science and mathematics. We were very proud students because we knew what we had. Our seniors were very good, and therefore when you had problems and you contacted any one of them, they would teach you. Like the drawing office was dismantled. All the seasoned timber which was there was taken down because they wanted to build a computer library. It's not the same school again. When you look at pictures of GSTS, you think it is still the old one, but it is going down. I think that we should be very careful. Old students should make an effort to talk to Ministry of Education about the school. First of all, it should be a 5-year span. Then the teachers can inculcate whatever training that they want to, give the student. This system of, is it 2.5 years, 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years? It's not working. We had inter-colleges, children were trained to become sportsmen in future. That is non-existent today. And therefore, Ghana has no, look at the Olympic Games, the number of people we send. Minimal, because we don't have them. Talents are not unearthed. We are unable to pick, young ones who have talent, so the nation can use them. So everything is gone down. Everything is gone down. The facilities here have been round down. Look at the master's block. Very dirty, with cracks on them. Columns are failing, and a lot of problems. The new block is collapsed. Classroom blocks are all in bad state. They are all in bad state. It was the design of the school, the oval in the center, and the buildings around them. That was the first one that made an impression on me. Then further on, Cadet Corps, then the workshops, then the hobbies we had on weekends. inspections on Saturday. I mean, GSTS was full. GSTS was full. There's nothing you could take out of this school. Everything made an impression. Everything, molded your life in a certain way. I played table tennis, but I dropped it when I ended Form 1. I was in a cadet corps. I rose to become a sergeant. I was in the photography club. Right from Form 1, you start doing things with your hand or with your hands and on your mind. Mente e manu, the motto of the school, is with our hands and with our mind. That's how we're put together. We did the remodeling, for example. Form 1, they give you like a puzzle, parts of an aeroplane to put together, and it was intensive for 1 year. There are many things I think I have left out, but there are many things we did here that molded the life of the young man. The facilities are going down. The classrooms are dirty and broken. There are cracks, the roofs leak, and many, many problems. And if it is not arrested now, tackled one after the other and done very well, the school will exist by name. They should know why they are here. They should know the price and the price. And they should go for it. The sky is the limit.
And minds and hands, oh, GSTS with
I reported to the school on 16 September 1966, and I finished June 1971. I was in Robinson House, which is now Upon House, throughout the period. It's the normal course, the general course, biology. I did tanker drawing, I did metal work, I did 9 subjects. So the normal subject, apart from the fact that I had to pick either metal work or woodwork, and I picked metal work and then technical drawing. And biology, we were the first set to write O-levels in the school. So I didn't know about the GSTS, but my maternal uncle was a student of this school. It was then Ghana Technical College. Sorry, 1952 to 1955. He, because he might have gotten the best out of the school, he now said I should choose GSTS, and that's how I chose GSTS. I didn't know anything about GSTS. Accra, I came to Takoradi on 15th September 1966. A small boy then with 2 boxes. I had a metal box and a wooden box. First got to the admin block, and no matter you report, and I was told to move to Robinson House. And it was quite interesting. You just go in, you see a lot of birds, you speak, only to know that that bird you picked was for a senior. The following day, the senior comes in and tells you, "Lou, who is there?" And that's will start the homoing, the all ever homoing. And it was a nice day. You meet your colleagues and you start interacting, and that's how you start picking your friends. From the first day you start moving together, and somehow you develop interest and they start, and that's what has happened. One of my closest friends, we are together here today. Yes, I was not in the cadet club, but I was in the debating club, biology club, photography. Yes, I know I did that. The good thing is that you had a dark room at the science block, and you were able to develop this. You snap and you develop these pictures yourself, and I still have those pictures up to now. I still have some of these pictures I developed up to now, and once a while I look at them, and there's that nostalgia, and that also pushed me to decide to visit GSTS. I must say I enjoyed the school because it gave me a lot of opportunities. It was when I came here I got to know about cricket. I was in the team B of the hockey club. We used to go out of the school to the military training downtown to play hockey. GSTS was the best. It was always held throughout the period I was in school. We had to print T-shirts. We used the opportunity to interact with other colleagues from other schools. There's that candle night thing. So after prep, before you know it, I'm already gone. I slept. So I didn't know about this thing during my first 2 years. In fact, it was the third year, I just woke up one night and saw the whole campus dark. I only saw lights at the center of the field. Because it wasn't something that was discussed. We would not discuss. I was in the lab, biology lab. I was just told to bring money for a candle. And the only thing was that, okay, this night we wake up at 12 and we wrap ourselves in our bed sheet and we move to the field. And then we'll talk and talk, we'll shake hands. If we have things to confess, we confess. We advise ourselves, because it was like you are going to the world. Either you are in Form 5 or in the upper seats, you are going to the world. And then we'll talk to ourselves. And it was one of the best memories I can't forget. I'm always grateful to GSTS. And in fact, that is the more reason why I decided I was going to attend this particular event. It's not easy coming all the way from Nigeria. It molded my life. There was discipline, honesty, sincerity. I interacted with a lot of people. I had good friends. And because we did tanker drawing and metal work, and there was that element of accuracy in a thing. When you are drawing lines, they say it's faint line, it has faint line. Unfortunately, I went into the university and I read quantity surveying. And so during my first year in the university, we did tanker drawing. It was quite easy for me. I was not attending lectures because I have done more than what they were expecting. And so that is, and then in architecture, I didn't do woodwork, but even the tanker drawing assisted in, and you interact with your friends in the school were doing tanker drawing, so I could see elevation, front elevation, this, that, cross section. And so obviously it just helped me in molding my life positively. You know why you have come here. Like one of us said, you pay a price for a prize. So you have to sacrifice. You do well. When you do well, you have good results, you cannot proceed. If you don't have a good result, there's no way you can move ahead. The students should open their minds. They shouldn't just be in army, engineering. I learned they are doing other subjects that can make them go into accountancy, even journalism, IT, and other fields, so that we have, even teaching. I expect that we have students who go into teaching, go to colleges of universities of education, so they come back and then they're able to pay back what GSTS gave them.
And minds and hands, oh, GSTS with men.
I entered GSTS in October 1971 for sixth form. I was in Western House. I completed in June 1973. And I did physics, chemistry, and biology. Life for me is full of interesting paradoxes. I went to Prempeh College for Form 1 to Form 5. And sixth form, I chose Ghana National. I chose Ghana National because my younger brother was in Ghana National. And it's a co-educational school. So somehow, having finished Form 5 in a boys' school, I wanted to go to a mixed school, so that, hey, I'll be a little partial with the ladies. Unfortunately, my brother and his group did not like ladies at all, and they were creating problems for the ladies. So there I was, having done reasonably well, passed very well, and I was waiting for National to call me. Then two of my friends who had also chosen National called me to say, they have received their letters, they've been accepted. Meanwhile, I did better than them. So I started getting worried. So one day my father decided that, hey, let's go back to Prempeh College. So my father took me to Prempeh College. Mr. Osai, headmaster, said, Mr. Akosa, if your son had even chosen Prempeh College third choice, I would have taken him. I mean, for me, I knew that was a lie. But your son did not choose Prempeh College. And ask him what Prempeh College has done to him. That day, I was in serious trouble. So the following day, I had to leave for Cape Coast. So I left very early in the morning, got to Cape Coast. By 8:30, I was in Ghana National College, sitting in front of the headmaster's office. 9:30, 10:30, 11, before I heard somebody say, who is Akosa? And then I got up and he said, no, I'm not having another Akosa in this school. No, I'm not. You did very well. I have given your forms to GSTS headmaster and he will write to you. So that was it. And I went back home, told my father, and I got a letter from GSTS and I came. But God being so good, 1973 national science results were cancelled. I'd come to GSTS, I'd come to meet very, how should I put it, brilliant boys. Those who came from outside to this school, I tell you, it was like everybody knew that if you're not A1 distinction student, don't come to GSTS. So we formed solid bond with people who I know were much, much, much better than me. And somehow, I got into medical school. So for me, it was destiny. If I hadn't come to GSTS, no lie. If I had gone to National, I wouldn't have. My results would have been cancelled. I might not have done so good. Certainly, if I stayed in Prempeh College, I know I would not have done so good. So coming to GSTS for me was a blessing, even though I hadn't committed it as my desire to come. But it has been a blessing, and thank God that, it shaped my life completely.
Your first day on campus.
Hey!
Tell us something about it.
I arrived in Takoradi, and this was my first time in Takoradi. So I got to Takoradi, and I had money in my pocket, so I took a taxi with my trunk and my chobox, and I arrived in the school administration. So I took out my chobox, took out my trunk, and the taxi driver left, and I went to the general office. And I said, this is my name, I'm coming to sixth form. So at the general office, I was pointed to, a very thick, burly man, I've forgotten his name. And whilst he was checking and making sure that everything was all right, he had the admissions list of those who were coming to sixth form right in front of him. So I turned the paper and saw those who had come and their grades. So, and then, they had your name, your grades, and then the house you were going to and the course you were going to do. So, of course, Agyemang Badu Akosa, Westinghouse, my grades were there. And then I checked physics, chemistry, biology. Then I checked on the others. And I realized, wow, this competition is going to be serious. So I'm going to be in a class with all these guys. So eventually everything was set. I took my things to Westinghouse and I got a bed. The others were there, so I met my housemates, and then virtually, introduced to the house as a lower sixth former. And we bonded. Interesting. We bonded so much. Those who were carrying on from Form 5, and then those of us who had come from our side. We bonded very well. So first day was good. There was no homesickness. And for me, I'm an easygoing guy. So getting in and blending was very easy. I started school at age 6 in boarding school. So I've been to boarding school all my life. So boarding school, no apprehensions at all. And it was good from day one. Oh, for me, it was the field and the Royal Palms. That blew me completely. You know, I mean, it was so nice. And even today, you come to the school, you see that it is so unique, you know, with the dormitories around so virtually the school field was the center of the school. And the Royal Palm, you know, for me, that was, the aesthetics is very important. And I think I fell in love with the school. And of course, there was a military sixth form when I came to lower six. They were in upper six. And somehow I was in cadet corps in Prempeh College. I was entertaining the idea of also joining the army. So again, that was a very striking feature. And I looked at it with awe, because I knew some of the guys who were in military sixth form. And my God, their drills, their sharpness, everything about them was so unique that, you know, it reinforced my idea of wanting to join the army. But my mother would not have anything of it. So that killed it. Well, it was physics, chemistry, maths, and physics, chemistry, biology. Full stop. In sixth form, it was science. There was no option for anything else. And, you know, I could do physics, chemistry, maths, I could do physics, chemistry, biology. But my option was certainly, because I'd always somehow, even as a young boy, I'd always wanted to be a doctor. And I felt that the route to being a doctor was to do biology. By far and away, my biology master, Mr. Francis Nunu. Spyro Jara, wonderful teacher. I tell you, the way he introduced his subjects, he didn't give you notes. You know, it was really an introduction to adult teaching. And I'll say something. When I became a lecturer in the University of Ghana Medical School, that is how I taught. I prepared adequately. So I came to class without paper. And I stood in front of the class and I gave a lecture. I didn't read notes. And at one stage, I told the students, it is better not to even write notes in my class. Somehow, some of the students took me to the dean, and the dean felt that I couldn't say they shouldn't write notes in my class. So I said, fine. Mine is to excite you in the subject enough for you to want to read a textbook. That was how Spyro Jara taught me, and it's influenced my life completely. And after a long time, I mean, I met him when we came, after A-levels, we came back for speech day. And some of us had won prizes. I won a chemistry and biology prize. So we came here and I met him, and he was so happy. That evening, you know, we spent the night at Harborview. Wonderful. Because, you know, he was the regular DJ at Harborview. Spyro was a man, and he was a saxophone player, so we used to call him Sax. You know, so for me, I met him, I think, on the 90th anniversary when we came to the school, and I met him, I think, on the centenary as well. And anytime I meet him, wonderful. I'm in touch with him, with the daughter, Barbara, and himself. So he made my life in this school wonderful. And of course, our chemistry mistress. Wow. Wow. I've forgotten her name now, but she had just finished Cape Coast. So she was youngish. A very lovely woman, you know. And I learned a little ever just so that I could, you know, but all the ever I learned was not the good ones. And anytime I was bold enough to say it, she would tell me that, some people are teaching you bad things. And at one stage when I came here, I was a guest speaker doing TK Mensah's time. And she was the district director of education here. So meeting her again was glorious. And then, of course, there was Kuomintang, Captain Asare, who taught us general paper. Wonderful guy, talking to us about Vietnam War and Burma War, and so I said, teach me Yasantua War. That one you teach me. You're teaching me Kuomintang and oh wow. Our education is warped. We don't focus on ourselves. So we finish school without even knowing our own history. Not so much the students. Of course, the military guys were for me they shaped my perspective. The discipline, the sharpness when they had parade, everything they did. I had a friend who was in the military sixth form from Prempeh College called Josh Pepra. And Josh was, I think at one stage he was like their commanding officer. So sharp that, again, those were the students that I fell in love with. But of course, this school was good in athletics, and therefore, again, being a little sporty, we enjoyed the full banter of athletics, interco, hockey, cricket. I played cricket, so it was good. No. Well, I mean, we played hockey and cricket. So, I mean, cricket at that time was waning. So there were very few people who played cricket. So there were a few of us who played cricket. So again, we got together. And then hockey. So we used to go to the school field on the other side to go and play hockey. And it was good. And when I came here, I learned that I was a good athlete. I mean, again, if you are in a school where there are very good athletes, no matter what you do, you don't shine. But when I came here, I mean, Westinghouse, I was one of the sprinters. And I'll tell you something, maybe a lot of people have forgotten. There was one inter-houses that I went, the heats, I was with Oslo, who was the school's top sprinter. And the first heats, I beat him. And they said they did not time us. I said, you people are warm. So we went back, and of course he won. I mean, overwhelmingly better than me. But for me, I will always say that was my pierce de resistance. That heat that was not timed, I won. But I was the anchor leg for Westinghouse, 100 by 4, third leg. And when I do the curve, man, it was a sight to behold. I should blow my own trumpet small, why not? I took classes very seriously. After classes, siesta, and then, we do the sporting activities and all that. So for me, all those things were very important. We did prep. And then when we were in sixth form, I had, in English terms, I had a first cousin. I didn't know him, but we met on this compound. He's my classmate. He's Mr. Kwame Brenya. We are first cousins. So when we met and identified ourselves, it was funny because one day we had gone to play hockey. And as we entered the school, I saw my uncle's car, So I said, what's Uncle Mensah doing here? So I walked towards the car. And as soon as he saw me, he said, Agyemang, what are you doing here? And I said, I'd come to Lower Six. So, he introduced me to, he said, but do you know Kwame? I said, no. Kwame was there are two classes in science. Kwame was in one class, I was in one class. So we introduced, he asked them, what's the name of my auntie in Accra? And they all mentioned my mother's name. So of course, we knew that we were bona fide family, all right? So Kwame became entertainment prefect, and we had a study cabin attached to the assembly hall then. So Kwame, George Polly, myself, Sandy Kodia, Kwame, George Opoku, Castro, and a group of us, that was our study cabin. And it was wonderful. We do soakings there, we do everything there. Me, I couldn't study at night. So at night, I would hype the whole thing. Charlie, today, dear, we are going to be there till 3 a.m. As soon as we start, 5 minutes, I'll be dozing, and I'll go and sleep. So for me, work was, but I will be the first to get up, and I'll be the first to enter the study room. So for me, early morning, I was an early bed, early morning study, right from Form 1. That is how I studied. And it was good for me. It was good.
Attending GSTS helped you professionally and in what way?
Well, interestingly, because we're all science students, in a way that it was a competitive spirit. You know, we worked together, we trained together, and, you know, it was good. It was very good. So for me, the competition was good. And like I was telling the students' body today, you know, yes, you aspire, you have a purpose, and you work on your purpose, and you work hard to succeed. And it doesn't matter whether you are first or not. I mean, today I was bold enough to I tell everybody, I've never been first, never been second, never been third, never been fourth, never been fifth. My best position ever has been 6th. But hey, it didn't stop me from achieving what I wanted to achieve. From age 7, I wanted to be a doctor. And I ended up as a doctor. I am now a consultant pathologist. I was a professor and head of Department of Pathology in University of Ghana Medical School. I became Director General of the Ghana Health Service. So pretty much everything that I wanted to do, I have done. And I've been lucky with good health, and life continues. I mean, yeah, about football, how do you beat secondary college? They had 11 Wise and Hazakes players, secondary college Fijai and Tadisco. How do you beat them in football? You know, and if you are the best in academics, so football is not for academics. Athletics, yes. If you win athletics, you've won every sport. You can't go and sleep, you understand? So for me, that was it. I joined a school that was equally prolific in athletics. And that for me was wonderful. You know, the other thing is that if you're a sixth former, you know, there are some leeways, you know. We used to go to town, we go to 1106. 1106 had the best student music. And, you know, we go there, we go and jam. And then you come to school all sweaty. And, you know, but you're a sixth former, so you took some liberties that certainly 1 to 5 students could not take. But for me, it was all well and good. But the level of studiousness of GSTS for me was also very good. It's comparable to Prempeh College. And everything that for me happened here, I would say, was a great blessing in disguise. Because, like I said, destiny brought me here. No, I studied in London, and I was in London for quite a while. I have one boy and one girl. The boy went to Prempeh College, the girl went to Wesley Girls. You know, but I'm going to have some more children. So, you know, I will make sure that one of them comes to GSTS. I think that everybody who comes to GSTS must be lucky. You should consider yourself lucky you've come to a great school. And what is important is that you carry on the traditions of the school. And the traditions of the school is high academic success. And therefore, for me, it was anybody who comes here, the minimum you should achieve your purpose.
And minds and hands, oh, GSTS.